Alright, so today is the 27th of May, which means in less than 24 hours, F1 24 is going to release for those that pre-order the Champions Edition, like myself. So for my final video regarding F1 23, I thought I'd do a little recap, a little summary, a very short one, just about what I think of the game and stuff I got up to. So first of all, I'm going to tell you my play hours. As it stands right now, I have 1,107 hours, which is actually my second most played F1 game, just behind F1 2021 with 1,236. Now, I've only played F1 2021, 22, and 23, and I think out of those three, F1 23 is actually the best F1 game by a mile. I know to most people the best F1 game in general is 2020, but I didn't play that one, so I can't speak on that. Now, the reason I think F1 23 is so good, to me at least, I love it to bits, is I think the handling model and the physics are really good. They're really fun. Now, to me, I prefer a much more simple and sort of arcadey style of driving. The fact that you can go on throttle, full throttle from like gear 4 onwards. A lot of corners are like full throttle when they're not supposed to. A couple of things like that I really enjoy. I just think driving these cars is really fun. Now, the thing that plagues all of the F1 games is the lack of content. F1 2021, we got Breaking Point and Career Mode. 22, we got just Career Mode. And 23, there was Career Mode, Breaking Point 2, which is one of the worst written stories in the history of media. And then, of course, we had F1 World, we had Series, which were pointless, and then we had, you know, a couple of really cool things in solo and multiplayer events. We had pro challenges. That was a really cool idea. Not the best execution, because even though real life drivers did set those lap times, they're incredibly slow. I know, like, I'm no slouch. I'm in the top 3 to 4% of players in the world, but I used to beat those times by like 5 to 6 seconds. So if I'm beating them by that margin, I'm pretty sure everyone can beat them. And, you know, we also got F1 Replay. That was a really cool concept, apart from, again, the execution. The fact that it recreated races, but you could, like, rewrite the stories of the drivers that participated. That was the aim, but all that really ended up happening is that it was a normal race, except they just set the grid as the one in real life, and that was it. And then, of course, we had scenarios, which I think was the best part of F1 23, not only because it was actually new, but the fact that it actually took effort to come up with and make. You know, there was, of course, the whole leaderboard thing, which was really cool. I actually got top 5% in pretty much all of them, the ones I participated in anyway. And when you actually look at my trophy cabinet, the entire thing is just top 5% scenario events. I loved scenario events. In fact, I have an entire YouTube series with about 20 episodes of just scenarios, and I also did a series on F1 replays, but you know, they're a bit crap. F1 23 was also the first time I dibble-dabbled into league racing. I joined my first league, which was the Fastest Pit Stop Tier 1 League. Now, if you go on Twitter and you search the Fastest Pit Stop, you will find a Twitter account with 180,000 followers that does a lot of, like, just F1 coverage, news, reports, usually just a load of bot looks written by random journalists, but basically, they have 180k, and I thought, quite selfishly, I admit, that I could join this league, and if they post about it on their main account, get a lot of following and a lot of, like, growth off this. However, I was deeply mistaken, because it was no shame and no shade to the people that were running it, but they had no idea what they were doing, and it was horribly ran. Now, I don't really blame them, because they've never really done it before, but it was very poorly run. You'd very rarely get more than 5 people turn up for a race, and when they did, the settings were always wrong, the weather conditions were always wrong, and it usually just kept disconnecting because whoever was the host of the lobby just had a bad PC or bad internet. And then one of the other main reasons I joined was because they were going to stream it. They said they were going to stream it. They streamed the first race at Hungary, where I finished on the podium, but then they didn't do it anymore. For the next 4 races, they did a race at Belgium. I finished second and got pole position. Then I did Las Vegas. I forgot where I qualified. It was a bit low down, and I crashed. And then they went to Britain. Another pole position, one of the best laps I've ever driven in F1 in general. and then I spun in lap 1 by myself and finished P7. After I finished P7, I decided that that was enough, and I left the league. And it turns out that my decision to leave actually turned into this big spiral effect that ended up actually closing down the league. They didn't do any more races from that point onwards. I joined a couple more leagues, and there are a couple really good ones out there. And I only did like 2 or 3 more races in different leagues, and then I sort of decided that this wasn't really fun, because the main 2 motives I had was content and growth. I thought not only could I grow from this as a creator, but I could also get some free content out of it, like my videos and my streams. However, once those just weren't really banging, I didn't like it. I don't like league racing, pretty much. I don't enjoy it very much at all. I'd much rather go against the AI, so that's what I did. And so the final thing that I'm going to mention, like I said, it is going to be quite short, is some of the content that I made on this game. And what I'll go through is notable series I did, some fun, innovative ideas that no one else really came up with, and then we'll call it a wraps there. So when I very first started making content on this game about 11 months ago, I had actually done a couple of F122 videos. I did a then versus now on Baku time trial. I did one elimination video, and I did 2 last to firsts, 1 at Japan and 1 at Austria. And one thing I should point out before I talk about the videos I made, this, during the period of F123, this hasn't really got anything to do with F123, but it needs to be mentioned that I did the biggest channel overhaul I've ever done in anything. Up to this point, when I made this decision, I already had about 1.1k subs, and I was sort of racking in the views at that point. I decided to private/unlist all of my non-F1 related videos, bar my very early Rocket League videos. And so I did. I got rid of about 300 videos and 300,000 views. And basically kept my channel F1 only. And that was a very big decision, because, you know, that sort of led me to where I am now. I mean, my channel hasn't grown at all, but I'm enjoying it a lot more. And now it is F1 exclusive. And so these are some of the series that I made. So of course, at the very start of the game, I did a full daily series of Breaking Point 2. That was a whole bunch of fun. Again, my views were never there, but that never really bothered me. I was so focused on actually playing the game, making videos on it, I didn't really care about the views. And then of course, about a month later, I started the infamous My Team Career Mode series, 80 episodes, which I think is quite low. Next year, well, I say next year, tomorrow, when the new game comes out, one of my main targets for the duration of that game's life cycle is to complete at least 1 career mode. I have 2 career modes planned. I want to try and get at least one of them fully completed, 160 episodes. So, My Team Career Mode started 11 months ago, and 80 episodes later, I just finished it yesterday. Like I said, I did some series on scenarios and replays, and here are some of the more innovative and fun videos that I made throughout the year that I enjoyed a lot. So the first one I did, which I thought was quite cool, which was an idea that no one had really done, and was actually very early, did force feedback off versus max. So what I did is I used my normal force feedback, did a lap around Qatar, then I took the force feedback completely off, done a lap, and then turned it to full and done a lap, and then I sort of give some initial thoughts on what it feels like, and then at the end I do a triple lap comparison to show you that force feedback does make a big impact. Another fun video I'd done that, again, I'm a bit disappointed it didn't absolutely bang because it was such a cool idea. I drove a race with my pedals reversed. So as it is right now, I have obviously the throttle as the throttle, but I actually have my clutch pedal as the brake. Don't ask why, I just do. So for this video, I put my accelerator on the clutch and my throttle as the brake. And let's just say it was absolute carnage, and I couldn't really ever get used to it. But again, that was 9 months ago. It doesn't feel like it's been that long. But yeah, that was also a very fun and good video. And I think I wouldn't say that's my favourite video, but it's definitely the funniest, was my I'm quitting F123, here is why. Now, this was a massive clickbait video, because what I ended up actually doing was playing a Roblox Formula 1 game that is actually really good. So that video was an absolute banger, and a couple more. Most of these are coming from, like, early February onwards, there was, of course, my pole time series, you know, 2023 Bahrain, Max Verstappen, 2024 Bahrain, Max Verstappen, last to first in Monaco in the wet, that was a banger, and of course, every lap, the F1 car gets newer, that was a really good one. A game of darts decides how many laps I drive. That was one of the longest videos I've ever done in terms of how long it took, because not only did I have to get a dartboard and throw darts on it, but I decided rather than just driving laps on F1 23, I would do a load of things. So I done an F1 23 100% Monza Grand Prix. I done a 100% Brazil race on F1 2020. In a classic car, I think, and then I did some time trial. I did so much stuff. I even did like some supercar stuff. I basically just found loads of different things to drive, and that was also, although it was really fun to make, it was such a large project, it actually just didn't bang as much as I'd hoped. And then there's a couple more videos, actually I think just one, my simulation video. I think that is the second best video on my entire channel, because it took a good 2 weeks to make. It's definitely the longest video that I've ever taken to make. 2 weeks is a long time for me. I usually bang out one a day, and it takes me 6 hours. This took 2 weeks, and I do plan to do at least 3 or 4 more during F1 24. You know, I want to do another normal one, and then I want to do one that involves F1 legends. Then I want to do one which is my team career mode simulation. Then I want to do bringing other teams back, like Andre, Braun, things like that. So that's going to be an absolute banger. But yeah, I thought the final thing I'll do for this recap is to go over my top 10 most popular videos from F1 23. So coming in at number 10 is going to be my last to first in the wet at Monaco, coming in at 758 views. And then 9th place is going to be my I'm Quitting F1 23, sitting at 1k. And then we have 2 Max Verstappen pole time videos, 2024 on 1.1k views and 2023 on 1.3k views. Number 6 is going to be every lap my F1 car gets newer, my best video I've ever made, coming in at 1.5k views. And then in 5th place we have my How Are Codemasters This Lazy F1 23 Portugal scenario, coming in at 1.8k. I still don't know why it got that many. It's a fairly crap video, but it just did. And then number 4 is going to be my simulation video at 2.1k. And then number 3 is... I've miscounted. Anyway, my 4th most viewed, just call it that, I can't be bothered recounting, is my F1 24 is a Genuine Disgrace. Now, I know that isn't F1 23 related, but I'm going to mention it anyway because it's an F1 related video during the time of F1 23. This video is such a classic to me because all it is it's a video of me complaining about the handling model of F1 24 and showing some clips and taking the piss. And then I put quite an ambiguous title and thumbnail to make people click on it. And I'm actually surprised it's got such a negative response. It's only got a 56% like to dislike ratio, and most of the comments are negative. It's crazy to me because I gave the same opinion as every esports driver and every content creator. So the fact that I'm getting all the negative responses is a bit strange to me. What I'm very excited about though is when F1 24 comes out, to hop on that game and everything that I said in that video is actually how the game is. I'm so excited. Anyway, my next most popular video, coming in at number 2, is going to be my first look at the Season 1 Podium Pass at 2.6k views. And my most popular video on F1 23 is new replay mode in F1 23 Bahrain at 2.6k. So that's going to be all for F1 23, a nice little recap of everything that went down. I'm seeing a lot of channel growth in my recent couple days. I've had this horrible issue with my videos where my audio gets gradually more and more delayed as the video goes on. I've been trying to find a solution for so long. It plagued the entire final season of my team career mode, but I think I've finally found a solution, and that is perfect timing as F1 24 is about to drop. So, if you have watched any of my F1 23 videos, thank you so much. I am planning to do a lot more streaming as well when F1 24 comes out. I hope you stick around for F1 24, because what I've got planned is insane. The amount of content I'm going to be putting out. Will I actually do it is a different story. I planned on double uploading. That might just not happen. Like, that genuinely might just not happen. But anyway, we'll see what happens. That is the end of F1 23 on this channel, unless, like I said, I come back and do like a little throwback video. But yeah, absolute pleasure to play this game, an absolute pleasure to make videos on it. And even though I think F1 24 is going to be a bit shit, especially at first, I'm beyond excited to not just, you know, begin my series and start making videos, but just to play the game in general. Because, like I said, F1 23 is a fantastic game. I'm getting a little bit tired of it. Something brand new and fresh, even if it is really bad. I just need something fresh, so I'm so excited for that. But yeah, like I said, that's my final F1 23 video. So yeah, that's all. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for the F1 24 grind.